Hey, it's Rich, the Louisiana Hobby Guy. Today I've got an exciting video for you on a new diode laser engraver that is everything that you would want in a 10-watt diode laser engraver. This is an all-in-one machine and it is precision through and through. No plastic parts, all metal parts, top of the line, brand new to the market. You're not going to want to miss this video. I am introducing today the Roly LaserMATIC 10, which is the most impressive diode laser I've ever seen before. So let's jump into it right away, because today is going to be a long video, but you're going to want to watch the whole thing, especially if you're in the market for a laser engraver. Let's go. All right, let's start at the beginning. Here it is, the Roly LaserMATIC 10. Real heavy machine. I was kind of surprised. You might want to be a little bit careful moving this, and maybe even use two people, because this thing came in at 52 pounds, which is quite heavy. So first impressions are important to me, and the first impression I got when I opened this box is that the cardboard is super rigid. The plastic, everything in this package that's wrapped in plastic is heavy-duty plastic. And here you've got your everything in the box, which is the power supply, the machine, the gantry, the acrylic, the exhaust, and then you have an accessory box that has your focusing gauge, your software, all of your little packages of screws, which is very few, and of course you've got a starter kit that's got, I don't know, 20 pieces of business cards and all different types of wood, and again, everything wrapped in high quality, thick plastic, which impressed me right from the get-go. Now, if you really want to be impressed, this was also in the material box. This is a test card that was done at the factory, and you can see that the machine was assembled and tested. On the bottom left corner is the date that it was tested, and on the bottom right corner is the signature of the person that tested it. I mean, that is just amazing. You will not find that from any other manufacturer on the market today. All right, folks, so I have never been so excited to put together a machine before, because there is basically 1, 2, 3, 4 parts in the box, and it's just a matter of dropping on the gantry right here, putting in the 4 screws for the gantry, and then assembling the acrylic. And the acrylic comes in 3 pieces. There's 2 sides, and then the top and back is 1 piece. And that acrylic also has the exhaust fan built in, the Lightburn camera built in, and everything else. Now, I don't make it a practice of moving gantries by hand, but right now everything is unplugged. It has no power, and this video is speeded up just a little bit, 2 times. And you know, it looked like I moved it faster than I did. If you're going to move the gantry by hand, you really need to move it very slowly, so you don't send reverse power back. Now here you can see I'm already on the sides. I think if my memory serves me correctly, there are 22 screws start to finish, and everything labeled perfectly well, easy to do. Everything fits precisionally into the holes, so you don't have to worry about anything being out of alignment or anything being out of square or anything like that. And there's just a couple of little attachments that you have to make. Plugs, I think there were 3 in total. There were 2 in the back where you just plugged in the wires, and then there was one of them was for the Lightburn camera. Don't remember what the other ones were, but just 3 plugs, I think, all together. And that was it. Run the airline through, and this was really the easiest assembly I have ever done. And really, the only assembly really is the gantry. The rest of it is just putting the parts on the acrylic, and of course connecting up the Lightburn camera and running the airline, and that's it. This was just so easy to do. I was excited to get it done. And I'm on the last steps now, which is that running that wire out the back for the Lightburn camera. Everything is precisionally aligned, and we're just about finished here. So I'm going to go back into real time now with the camera and take a closer look. And no, we don't want to look at tools. Okay, so notice right off the bat the drag chains, 3 drag chains, all completely assembled. The cover fits absolutely perfectly. That little piece in the front, the handle, is open, but the cover is on the back side. So you could, you could take the backside acrylic off of that and have an 8-inch pass-through. But I would like to see the other side have a pass-through so that you could have a complete pass-through. But here is the final product, and look at the quality. You can see the quality in every angle of this video. There's really no plastic involved here whatsoever. It is all metal parts. And there are the 2 wires that you just had to plug together. It has a 4-inch exhaust fan on the back. It accommodates a 4-inch hose. There's the integrated Lightburn camera, as you can see there. Really nice setup here. Really super nice. No installing any other parts. I mean, basically it was just the gantry and the acrylic. It was just so simple to do. And they've got a couple warning labels on here you should read. One of them is about moving the gantry by hand, which you shouldn't be doing. This is a precision machine, and there will be no need to move the gantry by hand. You'll see in the video. But yeah, look at the hinges. Oh, the hinges are amazing. The camera, the metal casing, the metal housing, the LED light strips, they're in metal and glass housing. I mean, everything about this machine shows really super high quality. And I'm not good at doing like flyover videos, but take a look on the inside. The linear rails. Has a linear rail on the X gantry, and there's also a linear rail on the Y. And that's a track rail on the Y gantry. Those little standoffs in there are for the roller accessory. The big standoffs here are for the honeycomb bed, so that it is precisely aligned with the laser. And there's the little lock button for the head, the laser head. You've got a precision movement up and down on guide rails, metal guide rail. Everything is metal. And that's what I really love about this. This is the dream machine if you were to design one yourself, even the focus gauge. So there you are. I don't usually do assembly videos, but I just thought that this one I would need to do it because it was just so simple to do. All right, so we're going to talk about setting up the laser in Lightburn now. And I want to show you just how easy this is to do and some of the advanced features. So let's come over here to Devices, and you'll see I have a few devices in here. I'm not going to click Find My Laser, as most people would think. I'm going to click Import over here. And on the USB flash drive, you'll see that we've got this Lightburn device file here. And all we have to do is double click that, and you'll see that it's done. It's already there. Better than that, better than it already being done, I'm going to come over to the laser tab. I'm going to switch over to the LaserMATIC. All of the Lightburn settings for this machine have been changed. You see my windows have changed over here. Not a big deal. If we come over here to the console, you'll see that it is homed. Okay, ready to use up here. Ready. Just that simple. And here's an even better thing. Let's come up here to the wrench and the screwdriver. These are the settings. Look what it's imported. It's imported offsets, scanning offsets. So when your laser is running 200 millimeters, and I believe they have this in seconds. I'm going to change it to millimeters per minute. But the only thing that I'm going to tick on here is, so these are the different, I'm sorry, these are the different speeds, 100, 200, 250, 300. They're offsets. So when it's scanning at 300 millimeters per second, which is 18,000 millimeters per minute, well, they've compensated and tested and found out that the line needs to shift by 0.15 millimeters for a perfect engraving. I mean, you know, where are you going to get something like this where it's completely configured for you? The size, everything is in here. Additional settings. So 318, 18. We're going to read from the controller now. And it's already set up in here. Don't even need to read from the controller. Isn't that wonderful? So the only thing that I'm going to do differently is I'm going to change auto home on startup to on, because I like that. And I'm going to change the fast white space scan to 200, I think is a good number right there. For me anyway. That would be 12,000 millimeters per minute. Okay? And that's all I'm going to change here. So, oh, I forgot. I'm going to change my X and Y. Return to finished position. I don't want it to be 0, 0. I want it to be, let's see, 200. I'm just going to do 200 on the X, and I'm going to do 395 on the Y, so that when the job finishes, you finish cutting out over here, it will zoom way up over here and get out of your way so you can take your workpiece off of the bed. And I'm going to say OK to that. I'm going to come up into these settings. Now we do want to switch over to millimeters per minute, because that is what a diode should be. You know, most of the files you're going to buy or get from other people are going to be millimeters per minute. So I'm going to say OK to that, and we are all set. And there's lots of other changes that have been made in here, by the way, that you don't see yet, but you will as you use the program. For instance, if we went to the rotary setup, your millimeters per rotation are already here. Your roller diameter is already here. I mean, it's a roller, and the only thing you'd have to do is click Enable Roller. That's all. Enable Rotary. That's all you'd have to do. If you're not using Lightburn, if you're using Laser Gerbil, you would have to change the Z-axis to the Y-axis, because Laser Gerbil doesn't support the Z-axis. But that would be the only thing you need to change. There are all sorts of settings that have been changed here in Lightburn that make this laser ready to run right out of the gate. All right, so one thing I did want to add here real quick is that in the roller setup, if we come over here to the Move tab, I want you to notice what we've got here. We've got pre-programmed positions that are part of the settings that were imported. So on the roller accessory, there are going to be different sizes, different positions of the roller for different size objects. There are 5 different positions, and these 5 saved positions in here are all 5 of those positions. What does that mean? That means that when you click, let's say you have the largest size, a 32-ounce tumbler. So you bring the roller out to the largest size, which is number 5. Well, when you click on number 5, the laser module is going to move to a position that's directly in the center of the tumbler, let's say the 32-ounce tumbler. Directly in the center. So you don't have to worry about positioning the roller accessory, moving it and getting it square with the gantry and everything else. All of the positions are in here for every single rotary position that's available. All 5 of them are already in here. Isn't that amazing? Okay, so we're going to set up the Lightburn camera on the Roly LaserMATIC 10. And the first thing that we're going to do is come up here to the top left to Laser Tools. And we're going to click Calibrate Camera Lens. And we're not going to do it like maybe some of the videos that you've seen online, because this lens is already in here. So we're going to click HDR camera, which is the camera that's built into the LaserMATIC 10. And we're going to leave fisheye lens checked. We're going to pull down this. We don't want to do the full calibration. We're going to do 5 megapixel 90. We're going to click next. And that's it. We're finished. Now we can actually align the camera, and this is so much easier than the videos that you'll see online. We're going to click Align Camera, and it is the HDR camera, so we'll click Next. Our material thickness, I have a piece of 2.5 millimeter 12-inch by 12-inch wood, which means that I will need to have a scale of 140%, and all the rest of these numbers are going to be good. And then I'll click the frame button. Now you'll definitely want to do this. I have positioned my wood using the markings on the honeycomb bed, so I know that it's going to be in the right position. And it's finished framing now, and I can now click Start. So I'll click Start, and it will run this program. It's going to engrave what you see here on the right side. The engraving has started, and I'm sorry I can't show you this on camera. I will pause the video now, and I will come back in just a few minutes when the engraving is completely finished, and we'll continue. All right, we're back, and the engraving is finished, and I'm going to click Next. And there you see is the image of the camera. So we're going to click on Capture Image, and it's going to bring that image in on the right side here, so we can continue to work. And now you may need to jog the laser head out of the way. And you can jog the laser head by using these buttons to get it out of the way. In my case, I've already jogged it out of the way, so we're ready to go. I'm going to click Next. And now the instructions are going to be on the bottom left side of your screen. It's going to say click on marker number 1. So what we're going to do is we're going to roll the mouse wheel and zoom way in, press down on the mouse wheel to move the screen, and zoom in as far as it can go. And it's not click marker number 1, it's double click. Want to get right dead center, and the better that you do this right now, double click, and you see that it just put a crosshair there. Now it's switched to click marker number 2. The more accurate you do this, the more accurate the camera is going to be. So we will now come right to the center, double click marker number 2, and you'll see that this is switched to click marker number 3. And now finally marker number 4. And there we go. That's all 4 markers. We click Next, and we are now finished. So when I click Finish, I can now come over to the camera control, and we will pull down the menu and select HDR camera. And you will see that the camera has now showed up on the screen. So now what we're going to do is we're going to click on Update Overlay right here. And you can see now I have it faded, but if I take away the fade, this is what you can see. And you see that we see 100% of the workbed here. And we can now position things on 100% of the workbed. All right, so let's take a moment to talk about what makes this machine stand out from all of the others that are on the market today. And the first thing is it's 10 watts. So it has a small spot size, and I did measure the spot size on it. It comes in at 0.08, and actually it looks like it comes in at 0.08 on both the horizontal and vertical, but my testing did show that it cut differently between horizontal and vertical. So it is a rectangular shaped beam, but the best that I could measure it under the microscope, it came in at 0.08. So the thing about this machine is the precision, and you're going to hear that a lot in the video. And the precision, what makes this such a precise machine is that everything is made from metal, and it's all one piece. So you're not dependent on dropping this down onto a wasteboard. Even if you get the best wasteboard, 3/4 inch MDF, that's the flattest surface that we know for a wasteboard. Even if you get one of those, if you take a caliper and you measure at 10 different points all the way around the wasteboard that you just cut, you're going to get 10 slightly different measurements. So it's never going to be perfect. This one is all metal, completely machined, all one piece, and it's super precise. Not only that, but you don't have to worry about positioning your honeycomb bed, which, by the way, is metal. And the measurements on it are in inches and in millimeters. All you have to do is turn it around and you go from inches to millimeters in 2 seconds. Now, not only that, but that honeycomb bed is stood off. There are 4 standoffs that it fits perfectly into. So if you take a piece of wood and you drop it into the bottom corner of that honeycomb bed at the 0, mark, you know you don't even have to frame. You don't even have to frame because it's at 0. It's absolutely at 0, and you just put in the size of your wood. You know, put in like a rectangle or a square, the size of your wood, and you know that the engraving that you're going to do is going to fill that wood from top to bottom, left to right, because it's so precise. The home position of 0 is that very bottom tip of your wood that you've laid in there. No framing squares, no anything. Not only that, but you've got precise measurements on your roller accessory that you saw built in, and that is, you know, your 5 different positions. The roller drops into standoffs where it can't move. It's in the perfect position. The wine glass holder drops into standoffs in different positions for different size media, and all of that is precise. So you don't have to, you know, square up your gantry to your roller accessory or anything like that. If you're using the largest size, you pick number 5, the laser head automatically moves to dead center of that largest size in the roller accessory. There are so many things about this that are precise, and everything is super high quality. The acrylic is super thick. The hinges are super thick metal for the acrylic door. The Lightburn camera case is metal. The gantry is all metal. It runs on linear rails on both the X and the Y. Even the focusing gauge, the knob that you turn to raise or lower the focus, is all metal, and it's on rails, metal rails. Even the focusing gauge itself, the step gauge, is all metal. So you know that when you put down a piece of material, it's going to be perfectly level and you're going to be perfectly focused because of all the metal parts. I had a hard time even finding plastic parts on this machine. You know, you've got the 3 drag chains, you've got a couple little wire hold downs under the frame, the antenna, the fan. I mean, there are very few plastic parts on this machine. Everything that could be metal is metal, and it's all precision made. And so that's what makes this machine stand out from the rest. It's something that you would expect, I would expect, from a $2,500 high price laser. I would not expect this laser to be coming in at the time of this video to be coming in under $1,000. So I just wanted to throw that in there. You'll be hearing precise throughout the video, and this machine is super precise. All right, let's talk about some example jobs. I started off with a name badge, and this is Romark LaserMATIC plastic. I actually engraved and cut it. No, I'm sorry, this is the actual badge. This one was a badge that I lasered. This one, the stainless look, I actually engraved and cut out, and I'll put a little tag on the back of it. And I also did this one in a gold color as well. So the Romark LaserMATIC plastics are available at jpplus.com, and they're really great plastics. You just have to have really good ventilation in order to do these, or else you'll be sorry. I moved on and did some acrylic. I did 5 different colors of acrylic. Here's an example of the black and the yellow. Both of them came out really great. I only ran 1 test grid. And then I moved on to leather and stainless. And the leather was just awesome, came out beautiful. The stainless, the Roly LaserMATIC has open source control software. So that means that you can change the frequency, and the instructions are in the owner's manual of this laser, so that you don't need anything. You don't have to paint the surface. You don't need Surmark. You don't need Enduramark. You don't need mustard. You don't need anything in order to engrave stainless steel. As you can see, there's the stainless steel pendant on the right, and here you can see the marking on the stainless bottle opener that I did. And yeah, bottle opener. Last video I said can opener. And of course I did business cards. I did painted aluminum and anodized aluminum. The one on the left is painted. The one on the right is anodized. And both of them came out really good for the first try without dialing in settings. And then I moved on to some tumblers. On the left is the big 32 ounce. On the right is my regular 20 ounce size. And both of them came out superb. The big 32 ounce did try to walk on me in the roller, and I found out that the table wasn't level. So a little shim under the legs, and all of a sudden it worked perfectly. I did ruin 1 tumbler on the big 32 ounce until I figured out that the table wasn't level. But yeah, it did a great job on tumblers. And then I moved on. I figured I'd do a sticker for my laptop. These are vinyl stickers, and I actually cut and engrave this. It has the sticky back. Again, you don't want to do vinyl unless you have really good exhaust and good ventilation, because if you smell it, it's bad for you, and this stuff stinks and it will make you sick. I know people that complain of headaches and all sorts of stuff, but the sticker came out great. Easy to do. Again, available on JP Plus. Then I moved on to wood. Did a whole bunch of testing on wood. Wow, hours and hours and hours of testing. These photographs were just dropped into Lightburn. They had no touch-up whatsoever, no adjustments to the gamma, the hue, nothing. And they came out really superb. And that's one thing, that's a test for me. You know, if you can get good photographs and look at just how nice this Legends of the Blues came out. I mean, it came out superb. All of the details. This was at 10,000 millimeters per minute, 90% power. Dither was the mode, and 318 DPI. And I've never had Legends of the Blues come out as good as this one is. The details are just incredible. Forget about the lines in it. That's the grain in the wood. And then I did all sorts of wood. So I did American holly, black cherry, ash, maple, rainbow poplar, mahogany, sycamore, regular plywood, basswood, all types of wood. I spent probably about 100 hours putting together an incredible library of tried and tested materials, whether it's cut whether it's engrave, different thicknesses, and I'm going to make this library available to Roly so that they can include it with their machine, and you can buy this machine and drop it on your table, install the library, and you're good to go. Drop anything onto the Honeycomb and get to engraving, get to cutting, softwoods, hardwoods. I have an extensive library that I'll be finishing up in about the next week or so that you'll be able to get for this machine for free. Everybody else with a 10-watt library, well, they're going to have to pay the $7.99 in my store, because this library is worth every penny of $7.99. With all the time and money that I've got invested, I think that this one is worth charging for. And I do think that I should get a little bit back for my my efforts. And of course I had to make it its own sign. So 6mm plywood, one pass. So I've got those settings dialed in. And this is just a sign for the table that the LaserMATIC is going to be sitting on. So there you go. Those are just some of the things that I did on this machine. Okay, so let's talk to the owner of Roly Automation. Hi folks, I've got a special treat, and I've got the CEO of Roly LaserMATIC, or actually Roly Automation, I believe it is, with us in this video. And he's going to answer some questions that you might have, I know that I have. And without any further ado, let's bring on Leo from LaserMATIC. Hi, Leo.
Hi, Rich.
How you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. So for everybody that is unfamiliar with you and your company, would you like to introduce yourself and your company?
Yeah, so I have a mechanical engineering background, and we are based in Shenzhen, China. And we do our own design in-house, and then we inspect, assemble, and test all of our machines in-house. And we are a fairly new player in the laser engraver industry, but I think we have some unique ideas that's going to be of interest to your audience, I think.
Wow. So I just got a couple of days ago the LaserMATIC 10, and
Yep.
I got to tell you that it is an impressive machine. I really like this machine. It's what you would expect from a professional company. So I wanted to ask you, what inspired you to make this world-class laser engraver?
Well, obviously the laser engraving market is very exciting. I think it's lots of people are very interested. It's growing fast, so it definitely caught our interest. And through my background, I've always wanted to make like a CNC machine or 3D printer or a laser engraver. To help people kind of bring their own ideas to life, and that's kind of what got me going on this product.
Awesome. And how long has this product been in? I understand it's a recent launch, but how long has it been in development?
Well, it's been in development for quite a while, because I design everything myself, so we don't have a large development team. So I started the initial conceptual design work March, April last year, 2022. So it's been almost a year now.
I see. Now, I know that you've collaborated with a lot of makers on YouTube. I was one of them.
Yes.
How much of these collaborations inspired changes to your final product?
I wouldn't say inspired changes. I would go so far as to say that the product is pretty much entirely based on usage, experience, and feedback from the community. Because I think even the most refined products out there, when folks get them, they make their own mods to them. People have different use cases, and when you jump to the Facebook groups, when you speak to experts on YouTube, such as yourself, I think that's where kind of the little golden nuggets are. And I before we started design, we knew we wanted the machine to reflect kind of the needs of the community. So we made a comprehensive list and try to address as many high value items we believe as possible from that list.
I see. I noticed. Now, I didn't have any problem setting this up, and folks, let me tell you, I don't know if what I'm going to tell you is accurate. Leo, correct me if I'm wrong. I think it was like 22 screws and 5 parts that screwed together, and a couple of plugins here and there, and it was done. And I didn't have a single issue, which is not something I can say about every laser engraver on the market. So I noticed that in your owner's manual, and folks, let me tell you something. This is just a sample of the quality that you're getting with this laser machine is the owner's manual. And I know a lot of people are going to say, owner's manual, who cares about that? I mean, this is actual cardstock. It's photographs that you can understand. It's text that you can read. And not only that, it's in English. So for all of you English-speaking folks out there, which I think most of you probably are, you're really going to appreciate this owner's manual. And let me tell you, I didn't go to looking for a video. I didn't look for any other source other than this manual right here, which is all nice, thick cardstock. You know, it's something that you would expect from a quality machine, which this machine is. And this is just an example of the quality that I've seen all through the first couple of days of testing of this machine. And, one of the questions that I had is I noticed in the manual that you're going to be offering off-hour telephone support. And now I get it. You don't anticipate having any problems with the machine, but as this machine becomes more prevalent, and I'm sure that it's going to probably dominate the 10 watt market.
I hope so.
Yeah. Do you think that you're going to be able to keep up with that promise of, that telephone support, that live telephone support?
Well, from the units we have so far, we haven't had too many calls. So it is my own number. so I do stand by that. And with this first batch, we have printed the manuals. So no matter what, I'm going to stand by that and pick up calls. But as volumes get higher, hopefully, I think I will try to bring on another team member that would focus exclusively on tech support.
And that was going to be 8 hours a day at night in the U.S.
Yeah. So the off hours is because we are based in Shenzhen. I'm currently in the U.S. right now, but most of the time I'm in Shenzhen. So I think a lot of our customers use these machines like in their spare time after work and on weekends. Anyway, so right. I think it does work out.
Right. Okay. So talking about quality, everywhere you look on this machine is quality, and the little things that many people may not even realize, but something as simple as the flash drive that comes with it, says right on here, Roly Laser. If you have a couple lasers laying around, you have a couple of these laying around, which one goes to which? Something that's not, and it's lasered on here too. So I love that. And the supply box. I opened the supply box and I was really surprised to find this. And this is an actual test card that's done at the factory. And I'm assuming that this person that actually signed this with this time and date was the person that tested the module itself?
Yeah, that's right. So we because running the test card does generate a lot of smoke, so we run a 3-hour program on low power just to test the machine motion and make sure it's repeatable and accurate. But then we run a test card as well to see how the laser module itself is performing. And so higher power, we see the text clearly. So if there's anything, we do catch problems with the test card. So each test card is what you get in your package was done 100% with your machine in the factory.
Was it just the module or the whole machine?
The whole machine. Yeah.
Wow, that's impressive, and I think that's unheard of unless you get into the high-end CO2 lasers. So also, I wanted to point out that in the box there's a nice little supply box here of all different types of materials that you can imagine. Well, I've got 10 different business cards in 5 different colors. I've got 2 different dowel rods in here, and it looks like 2 different types of wood. I've got stainless steel pendants, other samples of high quality wood, and there's a little tip that I'm going to be showing you a little later on in the video on how to do this stainless steel just by changing the frequency that I actually learned from Leo on the laser. And you're going to want to look out for that, because that is something that everybody asks about. So, and now speaking of the engraving and changing the frequency, I've noticed that I did some line art with it yesterday, and I haven't put it under the microscope yet and measured the spot size, but I did notice that it's considerably smaller than 2 of the other 10 watts that I have. How is it that you achieve a smaller spot size with this?
So we actually use a slightly shorter focus length. So in theory, as the focus length gets shortened, the beam kind of narrows with a greater angle to a smaller spot size at the bottom. So our focus length is 35 millimeters. I believe X-Tool uses 50 or maybe 45. I don't recall exactly, but in theory, it should be about 70% the size. Now, there's always variation. These things aren't exact, but so maybe the worst 35 millimeter focus laser might overlap with like the best 50 millimeter focus length laser, but as a group in general, our laser will have a slightly smaller spot size.
Right, I see. So I think I'm sorry for all these questions, but I think one of the biggest concerns that people have today is the speed at which the technology is changing, or actually I think maybe you might say the race to the top in wattage. And the viewers that watch my channel, they know my opinion on that 5.5 6 7 and 10 watt, that's the optimal laser engraver right there. And racing to the top for wattage is not something that impresses me, because you're obviously going to have you've got a 40 watt diode laser coming out now, but with a 0.15 by 0.15 spot size. So what do you want? Do you want something that's going to engrave really fine, accurate, quality work, or do you want something that's going to have a larger spot size? So, talking about the race to the power, I'm wondering, and a lot of people are concerned with launching a new laser, that you're going to jump on that bandwagon and launch the next product and the next product, and maybe not support this one as well, like some other companies are doing out there. So I just want to make sure that if I spend my $1,000 on this LaserMATIC 10, that are you going to support this even if you come out with new products?
So to be honest, it's hard for us to compete just on specs alone because we have lower volumes and we are not the first to have access to the highest power diodes. But that's not really our philosophy. I think we want to make a product that's actually easy to use and people want to use, that's friendly to the user. And we don't know where the technology is going to go in the 2 or 3 years, whether people are going to have 80-watt lasers, or if the market is going to settle, most people would want 10 or 20 or 40 watts. That's not within our control, but what is within our control is we can stand by our products regardless of where the technology goes. If you bought the machine, we can support it for 2 years. And that includes any questions you might have, things you might run into with Lightburn updates, for example. If we have a firmware update that's going to kind of keep up with Lightburn, things like this we will support for 2 years.
I see. And it sort of leads me to the question. I put this machine together and I was basically in awe. You know, if you remember our conversation from months back, I tried to source what I thought would be the ultimate laser for my viewers from China, and wound up with a terrible prototype. And and now you've got this laser that's worlds above what I even thought was the perfect laser just a few months ago. But my question is, how is it that you can offer such a quality machine at such a low price?
Well, I think we are the price. Well, we hope we can increase the price, and we plan to. If all goes well, probably by the middle of February. So right now, we aren't making much, or if any, margin at this price at the moment.
I see.
Yeah,
okay.
but again, we are a new company, so we are trying to get started. Yeah.
Okay. So really, my last question was how long do you think that this price is going to last? So basically, if people want to jump in on this, they should do it pretty soon.
Yeah, I think so. We plan to raise the price again by middle of February, depending on kind of inventory supply. We might do it slightly sooner, but yeah, I anticipate around the middle of February.
Okay, awesome. So yeah, now I did have just one more question. I looked and I looked and I looked and I couldn't find it. As far as I can see, the only plastic I can seem to find on this machine is the Wi-Fi antenna, the little clips that hold the wires, little parts that don't matter. It's really an all metal machine, isn't it?
Yeah, and the drag chains are plastic.
Yeah, the drag chains. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
there's
we
really no plastic on this machine.
Yeah, we made very few compromises, and yeah, our bill of materials, the total cost just kept on ballooning throughout the development process. But I think we made very few compromises in putting this machine together.
Yeah. So basically, what we're getting at this price point during the company launch is we're getting a machine at wholesale. I think that's what you're telling us.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I mean, with each batch, we want to, as our volumes increase, we're going to go back and negotiate with our suppliers and hopefully get the cost down and pass that on to our customers.
Right.
But yeah, that's pretty much what's going on right now. Yeah.
Okay, well, I think that answers all my questions, and I just want to say thank you for making the time. I know it's late at night where you are, and I just wanted to thank you for making the time to come on and answer those questions for me and my viewers. So thank you so much, Leo. I appreciate your time.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure.
So I want to take a minute to thank you all for staying around, those of you that have stayed around. And I know the people that have stuck around are the people that are serious to buy this machine, and they're professionals or they're hobbyists that want excellent results, repeatable results, perfect engraving, perfect cutting, no wasting material, all that kind of stuff. And this is the machine that does that. This is the only diode machine that I own that is, such a precision instrument. And I want to just say that this is a small company delivering a big machine. And it's a new company. And these are in limited supply. Now, the first 25 of them have reached Amazon and are stocked now for $999. I've got the link down below. I hope you follow that link. That throws a few pennies towards the channel and keeps these videos coming. But there's another 25 on the way. So I would suggest that if you're interested in buying this machine, that you do it now. Because I'm pretty sure that after maybe a couple of days, I think all 25 of that first shipment is going to be gone, and you're going to have to sit down on the waiting list, wait for it to become available again. And even though there are 25 there now and 25 on the way, it takes a while for Amazon logistics to get them sourced to the right distribution center before they actually become available again. So I'm guessing that they'll be shipping these out in shipments of 25. Again, small company, so limited supply. You need to get one of these right now. Go click that link down below and get yourself one of these lasers. You won't regret it, I promise you. And many of you already know I am not a person to recommend lasers. I've only recommended one other laser in the entire life of the channel, and I would still recommend that laser if you're in the 20 watt market. But this is the 10 watt market, and in my opinion, the 10 watts is the best laser on the market. So my favorite laser engravers are my half watt that does super fine precision, my 5 watt that does fine precision, and 10 watt, another fine precision laser. Once you get above that and you start collimating more diodes, then you start getting a much larger spot size. You get much less precision. You get you just don't get as good an engraving. And I want to offer high quality products to the people that I sell my products to. So I'm going to go with the 5 or 10 watt laser, and I am now stuck on this laser pretty much forever. So if you stuck around to the end of the video, I'm also going to tell you something else. I spent over 100 hours of testing on this machine, and I've put together a tested library where you can just go to the library, pick the wood, and just click assign to layer and go. I've done vector images, raster images. I've done photographs, cutting, engraving, the whole bit, in many different types of woods and many different settings, and even everything right up to vinyl stickers. So I've got vinyl stickers, I've got anodized aluminum, I've got aluminum business cards, I've got acrylic, I've got everything that's been tested and works. So right out of the gate, you can get to work and you don't have to worry about getting your baseline settings. So I'm going to offer this library to Roly for the LaserMATIC 10 so that they can package it with the machine to help my viewers, because at this point it's going to be only my viewers that are buying the machine. So I want you guys to be armed and ready. The day it comes in, 20 minutes later, you're set, you're ready, and you're engraving. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's video as much as I enjoyed making it for you. And man, did I enjoy making this video. Yeah, it was a lot of work and it took a lot of time, and I had two 17-hour days, one 17, one 18 hours. But you know, I was so excited to get this. I was like a new kid with a toy. And I thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.